Hello, Ilkay. Second day or third day on the check. Welcome to the interview. How is it on the show?
Thank you so much, Bernd, for interviewing me and hosting this show every day. So this is indeed the third day, the last day of Jack here in Villepinte near Paris. And you know, the vibes are and the energy is really great, is really positive. And I found
Fantastic.
a nice place here, and I will show you around in this place again. I'm on the booth of AZL, and it's now up to you to say what is AZL.
AZL is Aachen Center for Integrated Lightweight Production. So I learned my
Exactly,
lesson. Ilkay,
exactly.
tell us what's on this innovative booth.
Yeah, so I've selected this booth because, first of all, have a look at this backdrop here. It says Simplify Composites. Okay, this
Oh,
is
wonderful.
the other way around. Simplify Composites, yeah. So that backdrop is, of course, a great one. And I have met one of our dear members of the Composites Lounge, which is
Yeah.
Alexander Knauff, and I asked him to join me here on this
Hi,
live show.
Alexander.
So Alexander cannot hear you right now because you are on my headset, but you can ask questions which I will relay to him, and Alexander will answer here on our headset. So today we have a microphone problem. We are using the headset.
Yes, of
Better done
course.
than perfect, as we say in
Yeah.
LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. What's your question?
Welcome, Alexander. So
He says welcome.
yeah,
Hello,
Yeah,
hello.
welcome.
let's give him the opportunity to introduce us to AZL first, and yeah, then we take
Yes,
it from there. The
yeah,
overall topic is scale up part production. So we are talking today not about the composite materials
yeah.
and the prototypes and the making of them. We will talk about the scaling up of the production, and we are also on this industry 4.0 hub here. Okay, so
Okay.
introduce AZL, please, Alexander.
Yeah, I do certainly. Yeah, the AZL is an engineering company, and not only that, we are also the official center of the RWTH Aachen for composite and lightweight production. So our main purpose is to bring together academia and industry actually to expand the composite business and bringing composites into mass production. That's what's also meant with scale up production. So how can we make composites into mass production in different markets and different areas, different materials. So we are material independent, and we are organizing one of the biggest international networks cross industry with OEMs, tiers, material providers, engineering companies, machine builders, and so on. And yeah, we support companies subsequently in bringing their ideas into industrialization.
Great,
Absolutely. What I
great.
suggest is, Bernd, I will now turn this around, this camera,
Yeah.
and I will show you on the backdrop. You will see now a schematic, a scheme. And I ask Alexander, please come by me and maybe walk us through these
Oh,
steps, one
steps.
after the other.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm pretty much. I think they are self-explaining, if I'm honest. So, as said, we are talking about how can we make it mass producible, but there are many things you have to consider. It may be quality, it may be timing, it costs always a factor, a big factor for us, for the partners. And we have different processes as well. So we are talking about tape placement, of course, which is very yeah a common topic. Thermoforming, SMC, filament winding, protrusion, compression molding. So we have many different processes in our mind when we talk about how we can get composites into the mass production. So we're not thinking in one way, always broaden the spectrum. That's why we say integrative, because it needs to be not just one company, one idea, what we need to bring it up.
Okay,
Right?
Alexander, let's talk about this part.
Yeah.
Let me show the community what it says here.
Scale up production.
Scale up production. So let's go back to our first position here. Let's talk about scale up production. First of all, please define what is scale up production. for you?
Quite good example is, for example, a quite good example is an own machine development we did in the past, which is called the ultra fast machine consolidator, where the idea was how can we make tailored blanks of tapes in a very efficient, fast way. So we then applied basically this piece flow approach, which you know maybe from etiquettes from bottles, for example. So how can you make many tapes or actually blanks, for example, for local reinforcement, which you can then back inject injection molding machines. So how to scale this up? And we developed a machine together with different partners at the AZL, together with the institute, which is now commercially available. For example, how you can have an applicator head which applies the tape in situ consolidation. So that's the idea. So how can we make it? Yeah, how can we scale up the production? How can we be fast, efficient, cost effective? Very, very important, especially when we talk about
very challenging. Very
So
challenging.
Bernd says it's challenging.
Can I would like to ask a question because production of composites parts is at some point of the production you have to cure or plasticize material. So what kind of materials do you handle in the scale-up process?
Yeah. So in the scale-up process, what kind of materials do you handle? What is your expertise? Is it Duromers? Is it thermoset? Is it thermoplast? Is it elastomeric?
Independent.
Independent. Okay, maybe you can walk through all three if you have some cases, best practices.
Yeah. Okay.
Without naming, of course. Yeah, because they are most probably secret.
Yes, of course, of course.
Yeah, I have to say, yeah, okay, we have an example for thermosets.
Yeah, just walk us through an example so that the community can understand how the process works with you when they have when they have the question of, okay, let's work together, Alexander. We have this issue, typical issue, and how did you solve it, and what's the process in solving it?
Yeah, there are of course, different examples. And typical issues often if you have this hand layup, for example, right? So which is a very
manual process,
right? And then you need to find ways how you can how to automate that.
Yeah.
And then it comes down to that you also have to maybe reconsider the design of the part. So because if you do a hand layup, it's not just that you can say it's the same from steel to composite. You can just not say, okay, same design, just different material. It doesn't work. That's so typically companies approach us when they say, okay, we have a process or we have a part which we want to either redesign because we want to have another material in, or we want to save weight. We want to save costs, also possible, right? Also in composites you can save costs, that's for sure. And then beyond that define what we do next. It can be a redesign firstly of your part. It can be that we say, okay, let us look at your production processes and how you combine them. Maybe there's also something we can do. And subsequently, we can build up a complete production process for you. So we know the persons who are building the machines, who are building the molds, who are providing the materials, and at the end, then find out the link and set it up, because we are also able to do the production calculation, production chain analysis, cost calculation. With the different examples. Unfortunately, I'm really sure I cannot name anyone.
No, you cannot. Okay. And we don't need the names. Yeah. Okay, Bernd.
So,
you have any clarifying questions? Yeah.
Yeah. Can I ask another question? So, if somebody, let's say, automotive company or white goods or whatever, will come with a metal part for you, maybe you tell him, Ilkay.
Good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The question is, do you have an example where somebody came to you with a metallic part, very heavy, and challenged you? Let's do this in lightweight. And what is the typical co-creation process with this customer?
Oh yeah, of course we had. I would say that it's every day.
Is a daily occurrence.
Yeah. And
wonderful.
So you got the gist of this business model.
Yeah. You found the right booth. Wonderful. Ilkay,
the name is of course the battery casing, for example. Right?
Battery casing for the electric cars. Yeah.
Yeah, they are made in aluminium case. Aluminium casing is typically today the part or the material of choice. And now you have the shift from the thinking, at least, that there are other solutions because they want to save weight and by this increase, for example, the range or the performance. And that's a typical part where companies then approach us and ask, okay, we have this battery casing, how can we make it lighter? And what we did in the past, maybe you know, maybe not, but I can mention it, is that we had a very large concept development study, actually. So where we then just analyzed and developed 20 different concepts, 20 different multi-material battery casings for electric vehicles. And at the end, it was not just saying, okay, only composite is the right way, but to find multi-material solutions. And at the end, we could save weight, of course, because that's what's most important. But we could also save costs. And that's something which was not so clear at the beginning, I would say. But at the end, was what was desired, I would say.
Yeah, a wonderful example of how the typical composites industry is supposed to work. Yeah? And if anyone now watching this from the automotive industry, marine industry, aerospace industry, please approach AZL, and then you take it from there. Alexander will, I
will be glad to link you to the right person. I'm not the right one.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
So I have another question, if you allow me, Bernd, to
please.
Alexander. Alexander, you are now, of course, promoting also the company, and you are heavily into event organization. So why do you hold these regular events? What is the benefit for you? And when is the next one, actually?
We have different events. So there's, as I said, we are organizing one of the biggest international networks, and in those network or in one of those services, we are organizing several work groups focusing a specific topic. For example, the main idea is to just exchange on those topics, academia, industry partners. So just to bring them together and see what's next, what should be the focus, initiate new projects, which could be either public funded, which can be a consortial project, so just industry projects with partners, or individually, that's completely open. And other events, of course, are, for example, an AZL Open Day, which is quite close to the JEC at the end of May. So where we organize guided tours to the machinery halls of our partner institute at the Aachen campus. You can see it here, actually.
Show it to the lens. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you scan now the QR code,
the QR code, and then you can turn it around and show the.
Right. So here you see a couple of institutes. Here you see the. Oh no, it was also here the photo. So you see here, for example, all of those institutes are in foot distance, and we are organizing guided tours to that, so that you see very fast, very easily, very efficient, as much as possible from the activities at Aachen for composites and lightweighting.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you, Alexander, for now. Yeah. Wish you all the best, and we will keep on your booth and finalize this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ilkay.
You're welcome.
So Bernd, can I ask you a question? Because
yes.
this is the central part of the business of the industry, and so in principle we are only in the beginning of replacing metal parts by composites. Yeah, what is your feeling? I mean, what is the potential to go? I mean, to really save weight, save effort, and save, let's say, petrol in cars or so. I mean, what is the potential for the industry replacing old school parts by composite parts? What is your feeling on this trade show? Tell us.
I can give you a live example. Just before I came here on the booth on AZL, I've met Luca, and he owns the company Nation, and they make fantastic seat covers, backrests, even bike parts, carbon frames like this one. Fantastic company, and their origin, of course, was the sporting industry, and they have turned more and more towards lightweight technologies, and now they are supplying everyone in the motorsport industry, like Ferrari,
Yes.
you name the luxury cars, they are all into that, and they have a nice choice of different lightweight products. So the FRPs and CFRPs is not such an old technology. It is in my consciousness. It was in 2002, 2003 when this industry was called advanced materials. That was when really composites were the next big thing. And then unfortunately the composite industry went down in the industry. Automotive sector didn't really catch up on it. But of course now it's taking up again because on LinkedIn I'm pushing this industry.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Alexander is saying yes. And of course, I'm building a community here in order to put this into the consciousness of R&D people, of designers, of developers, so that we can get the lightweight technologies more into the minds of research, development, construction engineers, software engineers that make crash simulations, for example. So composite industry is on the upswing again, but we have a lot of work still to do to convince the OEM industries, be it aerospace, of course, is always been lightweight. Yeah, they don't need convincement, but we need to convince still the car industry, the railway industry, the ship industry to use much more composite materials. But what was your question? I forgot your question now, to be honest.
I just said, isn't composite industry, is it one of the most exciting industries? And you said yes, you confirmed. So that was basically
that
the
was
answer.
the answer. Yeah. Okay.
Can you show us around where you are, Ilkay?
Yes. Okay. So first of all, I show you the backdrop we had before.
Yes.
So you see the key benefits, and you see up there the JEC World Industry Hub 4.0, and I show you here around.
Many people.
So it's many people. You see a lot of discussions. So these are the neighbors over there. There's a food court.
Yes.
US pavilion, UK pavilion. I've been there also. So you see many solutions here on the booth.
Okay, thank you for this impression, Ilkay, from
You're
the
welcome.
second day. I think
You're
it
welcome.
was an important talk today about the upscaling parts.
Yeah. And also, Bernd, you were asking for lady engineers. Are they engineers? Also no? No engineers? But marketing personnel. Here we have are you engineer? Please come.
Oh,
no,
wonderful.
she's not coming. Okay, so we have this thing with women in composites. Huh? That's the reason why we were looking for ladies in the composite industry. But it doesn't matter whether it's marketing, it's commercial, or engineering. We invite women to take a role in this composite industry. Yeah, this is an invitation.
We will learn how to attract them, that they will come to the camera next time. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Ilkay, thank you for this interview. Yeah.
You're welcome, and thanks for the community to tuning in. Yeah. And I was really pleased today when I was walking through the JEC alleys. I mean, you can imagine how many people approach me and say, yeah, it seems like you are at all JEC. No, I'm not at all JEC. I'm doing these streams, and some of these streams, for your information, are live from tape, like this one. So we are not live, but it's live from tape. So it appears I'm talking all day, but we are streaming this on the Composites Lounge. We will stream this on the personal side of Bernd Zieten. But write your comments, you ask your questions, we will answer them after the show.
Thank you very much.